This is the strategy that works. We've been doing this for the last 3.5 years, and it's going to get the most levels of engagement.
This ain't this cause I say it respectfully. It's time to eat up, right like a speeder, taking it deeper, and that's how it better be. I never let the comparison get to me. I just remember the promises meant for me. I know the enemy and that he's sent for me. I keep the blood of the lemons my centerpiece. I cannot trust in no crystals or energy. Look at the chemistry, it do not even mix chemically. Most of the tricks they be gimmicks, they mimic the truth. It's poison and we got the remedy.
And what we're looking for is people that are hungry, wanting to hustle, wanting to break through walls, wanting to go after that legendary status.
They say you ain't about it. Tell them that you finna make it, but they doubt it. But you rose like the flower. Tell me what it's like to live with superpowers. I don't know, but I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I just know that I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it. I'ma get it.
What's up, guys? I'm Kyle Milan. It's Tuesday, so we're back to talk about industrial marketing. For those of you that follow this content closely, you may have noticed that we did not go live last week. That's because we were at NPE, the National Plastics Expo, down in Florida for the entire week. Team of 5 were there, having conversations, meeting with people, talking about plastics. That's spent 10 years in it, so I saw a lot of people that I haven't seen in sometimes 10, 12, 15 years. Good show, but we're back to our normal scheduled content. Had a lot of fun at that show. If you're new to this content, head over to YouTube, hit subscribe button, just type in my name. We've got over 1,500 videos, or maybe 1,499 last week when I checked. 1,500 videos plus probably by this week. We're posting 20, 30, 40 videos a week, all about industrial marketing, all about industrial sales. The purpose of this content is to provide you guys with relevant strategies, tactics, things that work today that you can apply. So the goal is when you're listening to this talk today, this episode of the show that we're going to go through, I just want you guys to be able to pull out 1 or 2 nuggets of information that you can directly apply today. If you get value out of it, share it with somebody that you know. If you guys want to listen to this in podcast form, go to every major podcast platform and type in industrial sales and marketing with me, and you'll be able to listen to this while you do other things. We good to go? We're good to go. I'm still getting over my cold that I've had for, seems like ever. So today we're talking about industrial marketing challenges and solutions, because we want to provide you guys with stuff that you can apply today. So let's get into it. We're going to head over to the whiteboard. If you guys, whoever's coming, watching this thing live, put where you're coming in from. What industry are you guys in? Once we go through the content, we'll take a quick break, about a minute, minute and a half. You guys can put in comments then too. We'll answer any questions when we come back from that break. But let's jump into it. So first topic, first point, the challenges. So let's put that at the top. We're going purple. The challenges for, I'll say IM, industrial marketing. Number 1, and I have 4, is going to be standing out. That's a challenge that you guys face. How do I know it? Because I've been working in manufacturing for 23 years. I've owned this agency for the last 8 years, and this is the biggest issue, is how are you guys standing out? How are you standing out from your competition? What is it that you guys want to be known for? What are you doing today that's going to make you get noticed, recognized, potential customer, the RFQs that you guys are searching for? Standing out from everybody else is the goal. That's a challenge, but that's also the goal. So let's talk about some of the issues that you guys face with that. Whenever I talk to industrial companies and we talk about value proposition, things like that, it comes down to, tell me your value proposition without saying quality, service, or your engineers and technology. Like, give me what is it that separates you guys from everybody else, without being able to say, oh, we've got the best customer service, or we've got the best quality parts that we make in this vertical, machining, injection molding, etc. Or we've got the best team of engineers. We got a full team of engineers. What's really separating you guys from everybody else? For those of you that are watching this live, I want you to put a couple ideas in the comment section. And I want you to tell me, what is it that you guys use as your value proposition to make you stand out? So that's what we're going to start with. What separates you from everybody else? Could it be common thing is challenges? Bring us your challenge. You can't stump us. We'll be able to solve any problem that you guys have. Like we've got the engineers, the expertise. We provide the best. Is it longevity of your products, whether it's a product or a machine that you guys are making, whatever it is, it's the longevity. Like our stuff lasts forever. You won't have to replace it. Is it the service side of it? We make this piece of equipment and we have the service team, right? So I sell you $100,000 or $1 million, or $2 million piece of equipment. I'm here to tell you that we support it for the life of it, right? Look at companies like Craftsman with the replacement built for life. Will replace any tool if you break it. Like, what is the thing that is going to separate you guys? So you start there with the kind of like the messaging of like, what makes us better than everybody else? Try and have 3 if you can. But even one that's like your statement, that is going to be sufficient. Now we're going to talk about how are you going to stand out. So once you know what it is that you want to be known for, and maybe you guys already have one because you've been around for 20 years and you're like, nope, our original one is good, or what we did 5 years ago is good. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to get that attention? I was just at a trade show last week at NPE, 2,000 exhibitors, right? It was something like 2.2 million square feet, 2,000 exhibitors. I think it was approximately something like 50, 60,000 people over 5 days came to the show at Orange County Convention Center in Orlando. And as we're walking the show, and Riley can attest to this because he was there videoing pretty much everything, it's like everybody's so similar, right? We saw this at IME West, which is MDM West in February. We saw this at FabTech last year. We're going to see this at IMTS this year in September. We're going to see this at FabTech this year in Orlando in October when we're going down with a team of 15 to exhibit at the trade show. We're going to see the same thing. But the same thing is that you're walking down these aisles and everybody looks and feels pretty much the same. They're using different shades of blue, different shades of gray. They're using white with their stuff. Sometimes you get somebody that's like, my color is black and yellow. My color's orange. Well, just by visualization, that's going to make them stand out. I know that a lot of you guys are doing trade shows, and it's like the thought going into your booth, and I've talked about this on other videos. The thought going into your booth is like, okay, how are we going to design the booth? That's one aspect of it, is like your backdrop, things hanging overhead, your pillars, your podiums, your table, your examples, etc. But what are you going to do to bring attention to your booth, right? What is it something that you're going to raffle away with business cards? Is it something cool, exciting? I say probably, and Riley, you might have to chime in on this. The coolest thing that I saw when we were at MPE, besides the old muscle car, which that was cool, but that one really wasn't, they had like a 1970s muscle car there. GSX, and it was like gold. That was cool, but even that wasn't like drawing people around to see it because it was just like a car, which is different. But I'd say the thing that got the most people interested and paused was the golf simulation. So
yeah,
a long
for
drive
sure.
competition, right? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, for sure. That had the most people there. We were there for 15, 20 minutes doing it.
So we're there for 15, 20 minutes. People are waiting in line to try their longest drive to be able to raffle. I don't even know what the giveaway was. I didn't even pay attention to it. I was just like, this is cool. Let's stand in line. We filmed some footage and 2 of our guys tested it out. I think the giveaway might have been like a set of clubs or something like that. So $1,000, $1,500 worth of a giveaway. I don't even remember, honestly, the company name. It was a bigger booth. It was a 30 by 40 booth. I don't remember necessarily the company name, and that's on them for not doing enough marketing when they're there, right? You had a girl that would scan your badge, and then you would put your name in the computer. You go into the simulation, everybody's watching, you get 3 hits, etc. Then you get your name on a leaderboard. Like, that's a cool idea, but the execution of it should have been something like, while everybody's waiting, there's another person from the company that's talking to them, asking them, what is it that you do? Having conversations, not trying to hard pitch their service or their product, but maybe giving away swag. Hey, here's my business card. Let me get your information. Like, we already scanned you, but here's my business card. Here's a brochure. Would love to talk to you guys about this stuff. Something like that. And then maybe I would remember their company name, but it drew in the most attention. Happy hours too. Happy hours at the end of it, that draw in somewhat of a crowd. But as I'm walking and going through this trade show, I'm just like, nobody's standing out. Now the film, the blown film machines that are 25, 30 feet tall, those drew a lot of attention because of the size, right? You walk past and it's creating giant poly bags, going all the way up to the top, wrapping it, closing it, perforating it, rolling it, etc. So that got a lot of attention. But the reason why I'm using the trade show as the example is because it's the easiest for you guys to think about. If you ever walked a trade show, exhibit at a trade show, you're thinking like, how do we stand out, right? What's our color schematic like? How can we be different? Are we gonna be standing the aisle way, which you should? Having conversation with people, bringing them into the booth. That's like working the booth. But just person walking by, does your stuff catch their attention? You have to think like that for all of your digital marketing, every single aspect of it. What does your social media look like? How are you standing out? Are you just doing employee posts and job posts? Are you doing behind the scenes video footage, which you should be doing? Are you guys creating video content, right? We manage right now, I don't know, 20 to 30 social pages for our customers, posting 3 to 5 times a week for each customer, right? So just think about that. We're doing probably over 150 posts a week on LinkedIn for our clients. Then we analyze the data every couple of weeks, at a minimum every month. What's working, what's not. Images, carousels, videos long form, video short form, links to industry articles, employee highlight posts, like all those things we're looking at. And we're not only just looking at the individual level with our customers, but we're looking at broad, right? Because we're an industrial marketing agency, we only work with industrial people. I got all these service guys, I got these product guys. Let's look at the data and see what is one company getting more attention on. Is the other company in a similar industry, similar vertical getting the same? Maybe we should test something out that we're seeing in some other area with a different customer, different market, different vertical. But we're looking at the data. So how are you guys standing out? You have to look at your own stuff first, look at your competition. And if you know these 3 to 5, 7 to 10 companies, this is my competition from a quoting standpoint. When somebody's looking for this service that we offer, they're thinking about these other companies, are probably asking them for pricing too. Or I know these companies are going aggressively after the automotive, the medical market, the aerospace, whatever. What are they doing on social? So we're just going to break this down, right? Social media, one of them. What are they doing? How are they standing out? How much engagement are they getting? What are you going to do to be different? If they're doing the same things as you have to come to the table with something different. Behind the scenes video footage, start doing that. Just very simple, right? Go to the plant, go to the shop floor. You don't have to go as deep as saying like, every Tuesday we're going to do a podcast. That'd be great. Every Tuesday you go live. That would be amazing. Bring in your subject matter expert, chief engineer, top salesperson, pitch them, talk about something. What are you seeing in the market? Some sort of thing to differentiate you, even if it's the fact that you go live. Even if it's the fact that you go live and it's a live video shot of your production floor. And I know what some of you are going to say, I can't show that because of intellectual property with my customers, etc. Okay, then don't show them the IP. Show them something else, right? Answer questions while you go live for 30 minutes, 60 minutes, once a month. You have to look at it and say, I'm going to stand out. In order to stand out, I have to be different. When we walked that trade show, what stood out was a golf simulator. Not a single one other than that company had it. And we walked each hall probably 10, 15, 20 times, the whole hall over 4 days, 15 times for both the South Hall and the West Hall. So we saw everybody multiple times. The use of lights, the use of simulations with their products, the use of strategic placement of the aisleway that you're walking by. All those things matter. But you have to think about that just like whether you're doing IMTS, NPE, FabTech, Automate, does not matter. Think of all of your marketing just like it's a trade show. People are coming by, looking at your website. People are coming by, looking at LinkedIn. Right? They're not walking, they're physically going by your stuff. And how are you going to get them to stand out? And then it's for those that aren't physically coming by. They're not searching for you. They're not walking past your trade show booth. They're just at the trade show. How are you going to get their attention? They're not even by you. How are you going to get their attention? Email marketing, LinkedIn, messages, phone calls, giveaways, promotions. Don't tell me I'm going to do a 3-foot banner in the front of the entrance to getting your badges, and they're going to see that and they're going to be like, I need to go stop by that booth. That does not work. and somebody's going to come in the comments and be like, we did that and it worked. Yeah, that's the exception, not the rule. All that marketing that the shows try and sell you ahead of time typically does not work unless you're doing the entire thing. Like I'm exhibiting everywhere at the show. I've got the show program, the cover, the lanyards, the badge holder, the steps going up to it, the stuff when you enter into it. Yeah, sure. If you do all of that, $100, $200, $300,000 worth of spend, sure, you probably can get some people be like, I've seen your stuff, or I know you are going to stop by. But for those of you that are trying to be scrappy with a budget of 5, 10, 50, 100,000, there's much smarter ways to do it. But think about that. They're not coming by you. They're not searching for you on LinkedIn. They're not Google searching for you. How are you going to get their attention? But you have to be standing out. So when they do come to your website, it has to be different. You have to have something that makes you different than everybody else. Otherwise, they're going to say, like, make it common to where it's not like they're used to seeing it some certain way when it comes to purchasing or picking equipment or learning about equipment. And you guys are like out in left field or right field. And you're like, oh, in order to view our website, you got to put on some VR goggles and it's going to be a simulation and you can hand touch. Like, don't go crazy with it. Maybe that's a feature, but don't make your entire website like it. So stand out to be different, but you don't have to be insane, especially if you don't have the budget. Let's go to number 2, the challenges that you guys have and what's the solution. This is one of the biggest challenges. Oh my gosh, it's not spend. It's not spend, it's speed. It is speed. If I had more time, I'd draw a turtle. But this is a common issue facing industrial and manufacturing companies is speed. You guys move slow. You move slow with decisions. Totally get it. I'm not saying that you're at fault for it. I'm just calling a spade a spade. Everything moves slowly, which I get. Apprehension, you don't know, especially when it comes to marketing. You don't know. You're trusting one person. You're Google searching, your YouTube video watching. You're asking friends, looking for referrals, etc. But the speed at which you move, the speed at which you make change and adjustments, that's the key, right? When something's not working, are you making an adjustment to make it work, right? We've done the same trade show for the last 10 years. We've done the same type of thing. We've gotten the same type of results. It's not where it should be. Are you making adjustments? If I was doing a trade show, while we're at the trade show, every single day I would look at wins and losses, takeaways. When the trade show's done, I'd be like, what did I see from other people that I want us to change and make those adjustments for next year? Is there something I could do today, right now, tomorrow, next week? Implement something that's going to provide a massive level of impact. That's really what you're focusing on. Because the speed is like, I got to go 6 layers. And some of you guys, you won't be able to do it, right? Because that's just how your business is set up. I got to go through 5 different approvals to get it, and the people are traveling and they're busy, etc. I get that. But you have to look at it and say, speed is the thing that's holding me back. How fast we react, how fast we've approved that content. We produced 1,500 videos last year and over 700 articles. Do you think that those things were approved within a day? No. Sometimes some of them had another revision to it. We create something, hey, we want to make these tweaks and adjustments, etc. That's a lot of content. Over 2,200 pieces of content we created last year. This year, we're probably on track to do 40% more than that. So we can only move as an agency as fast as our clients approve it. We try and hit the nail on the head, 95% there, minor adjustments, post it. But sometimes we run into issues where it's like these people are out, they can't approve it. There's 8 people that have to give their feedback before they can approve something, right? That just creates this massive bottleneck to where it's like so big and it slows us down. And if we can't do our job, we can't produce the results. So you guys got to think about that too. Am I moving fast enough? We had an idea. We know this works. We heard it, Kyle say it on this show, on this episode, on this video. He proved it with data. He said that this is what they're doing with all their clients. He said this is the strategy that is working today, and this is what they're going with going into 2024, 2025. This is how he's saying they're doing trade shows. And it's like you listen to it, you hear it, and you're like, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense. I could see that. I've heard other people say that, or I know a person that they've done this with, and they said that it worked. But the reaction time to doing it for you is where you guys get bogged down. And it could be approvals, and it could be the fact that you've got other people to convince. Totally get that. It's a tired industry. I get that. But you got to focus on, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this now. quickly. Don't be foolish with it and just be clumsy. But like, hey, we're gonna start doing LinkedIn Lives to stand out from our competition. We're gonna go live once every 2 weeks on Wednesdays at noon. It's gonna be a lunch and learn with ABC company, and we're gonna teach you about something. Don't be like, yeah, you know what? Let's look at that Q4. We're busy right now. Let's look at that for next year Q1. We'll start that. No, start that in 30 days. Set it up, flush it out, have a conversation, a meeting, get the action items, get the simple equipment that you need, sign up for the subscription to go live on a third party like StreamYard. That's what we use. And then just do it. And then just do it again and again and again. But the speed is what's holding you guys back. If you just look at industrial, I was on a call yesterday. As some of you guys may know, we're a HubSpot partner agency, right? We're platinum level going to as high as we can go. We work with every CRM system, Klaviyo, Pipedrive, Apollo, Sugar, Zoho, Salesforce, Pardot, Market. Like we work with everybody. But in my opinion, HubSpot for most industrial companies is the best solution. So that's why we're a partner agency with them. Alex and I got called into a call with 6 salespeople that are working with industrial companies. And the leader of them brought us in to teach them and to train them. And the first thing I said, I will continue to say, is that industrial and manufacturing companies are typically 3+, we'll just say 3+ years behind. Most of them, don't give me your exception, the rule, most of them, 80% of them, 3 years behind on marketing technology, 3 years behind on marketing strategy. They're doing things that worked 3 years ago plus. They're not up to the times. When they talk to us on the discovery call, they're like, Kyle, what should we do? Alex, what should we do? Mason, what should we do? What should the strategy be? This is what we're doing. It's not working. This is our goal. We say, you guys be doing these things. Here's how we're going to build a program. Here's how we're going to set the deliverables. Here's a strategy. Here's a cost, etc. But then we ask questions like, what are you guys currently using for this? And the answers are mind-boggling for people that are not from the industry. To me, it's like, I expect that because this is all I've done. But the speed at which you guys are adapting and adjusting is not there. So in my experience and in our experience, you have to move quicker. If we say that we want to do these things, we have to implement something. So less talk, more action. That's what it's all about. Let's go to number 3. Number 3, the number 3 challenge. I'm going to number these. This is going to be 1. We'll make this 2. Number 3, traditional methods. This is a challenge. I'm going to give you a solution. A lot of you guys are still focusing on traditional. Saw it at the trade show. Walk into the trade show last week, day 1. Here's the show program. Here's the directory. Here's this and that. Day 2. Here's the show program. Here's the news for the day, right? It's kind of cool that plastics industry does that. Like, what happened yesterday? They print it. They already have it for the next day. That's cool. That's what I'm used to seeing. And that's cool. And I'm sure IMTS does it too. I don't think FabTech did. Maybe they did. But you look at it and it's like the amount of money that people are spending on advertising those things still, when I know for a fact, most cases, it does not work. The amount of money that people are spending on print media, when the print media companies are like, we got 68,000 engineers, we got 128,000 buyers, we got all these people that see your stuff. But when I dig through the data, a lot of the times it doesn't result in actual revenue. First, does it result in an opportunity? Then does it result in a RFQ, right? A lead to an RFQ to an actual closed deal, one business, chalk it up to that source. We track these things with most of our clients very detailed, as close as we can possibly get, because that data is going to make decisions in the future. But people are still focusing on like, how are you getting your deals right now? Oh, referrals, trade shows. What about social? What about email marketing? Oh, email marketing doesn't work. Let me tell you something. Traditional email marketing does not work. It's that simple. Now, sales sequences through HubSpot, which are emails from a salesperson, one-off emails, which we use automation to create, and it's on a schedule and it's on a set list. These 5 emails are going to go to these people as you enroll them over this period of time. However, the difference with sequences is that if they reply, it pauses a sequence. The other thing is that there is no unsubscribe button at the bottom because it's not a marketing email. It's an email from me, let's say, if I'm a salesperson. It's an email from me that you get, hey, Steve, wanted to talk to you about the top 3 issues you're having with your supply chain and some common things that we've seen in the industry of aerospace. You get that email from me. You don't respond to it. You get a follow-up email a certain amount of time later, 3 days, 5 days, 10 days later. It's a threaded response. So you got your first email, then the second email comes in threaded to where you click it. It's in the same, it's just a RE colon. So it's a reply threaded line. There's people that fake it. If you're using like other software, like Marketo doesn't do sequences. You could fake it by changing the subject line, but this is all in one sequence. You just get these emails, boom, boom, boom. You reply to it, pause the sequence, you don't get the next one. Those work. I have data for days to support it across multiple verticals, multiple industries in industrial manufacturing. So email marketing traditionally, broadcast email, 5,000 people get it. It's an email from me. Even if you strip out the banners, etc., that doesn't touch sequences. Why? Because the filters that have been put in place through all the email providers blocking marketing emails and putting them into not even necessarily spam, but just a holding pattern, right? They've been very strict over the last 6 months, especially 5 months. Made a lot of changes to their process of doing it, which is affecting email marketing, open rate, click rate, etc., deliverability, even deliverability rate. So sequences work. So instead of saying like, oh, referrals, sometimes we wait on people to call in, go on the offense, do email marketing, do social, do videos, write content, update your website, focus on search. When people do search for you, you better be showing up organically. And if you're not, run those ads, strategic ads. If I had $1 for every time we took over an account that had PPC, and I look at their keywords and it's all broad match, which for those of you that aren't in PPC, what that means is that if the phrase is industrial automation equipment and I type in industrial and something else, it's a broad match. It's matched one of the words. So my ad is going to try and compete with that. So you've got broad match, phrase match, and exact match. Phrase match is using a couple of the words in the order or a combination order of what you have. So industrial automation doesn't have machining, so that's okay. It's a phrase match according to Google. Exact match would be you have to type this in. If I had $1 for every time it was broad match, I'd be shutting down these doors and moving on, sailing a yacht across the world, because that's just how it is. But it's like, do PPC, but do it strategically. So don't just be like, yep, we're on search. When people type in our name, we're going to show up. That's just the traditional way of doing it. If you haven't made an adjustment to your strategy, to something new in the last 12 to 36 months, then you're doing what I would consider traditional. And some companies are doing like way traditional. Nope, we're not on social. We're on Twitter. Okay. We're not on LinkedIn. We're not pushing content. We're not doing posts. We're not creating content. We're not doing videos. The salespeople are not getting new connection requests. They're not messaging with people on LinkedIn. They're not updating the web pages. They're not creating new web pages, right? These are all the things that most traditional industrial companies are doing with their marketing. Traditional meaning their marketing is traditional. You go into their shop and they got automation equipment. If they're focusing on efficiency, they got programs and ERP systems and people doing all these things for efficiency, throughput, etc., productivity. But then you look at their marketing, they're like, yeah, we do that one trade show. We do automate every single year. And you start peeling back the layers of that onion. It's like, do you do email marketing ahead of time? Yeah, we send it out to like 150 people. When do you do that? 8 weeks before? Yep, wrong. 5 months before, 6 months before. Building a list, going after people strategically, sending out those sequences, connecting with them on LinkedIn, doing posts, doing videos. All of those things need to happen. So you guys are focusing too much on the traditional. If you want to see a breakdown of everything that we do, head over to the YouTube channel. I've got a video for probably everything that is out there. Number 4, so stop doing traditional. Focus on stuff that's actually working. Number 4, probably the most important. Data collection. You can't make a decision on whether or not something is or is not working if you don't have the data to support it. Otherwise, it's just a theory. Otherwise, it's just you saying, I don't think that this is working. I would much rather be like, just show me the data. So when it comes to collecting the data, I want to collect everything. in every different area. So you have to take each vertical of marketing. So with social, I want to know, what do we post? When do we post it? How many times a week? What type of content? Who engaged on it? How many people saw it? How many new followers did it generate? What's my trend line with followers to impressions ratio? Am I going towards what I say is the goal, which is 10 to 12 times impressions to followers? You have 1,000 followers, you should be getting 10 to 12,000 impressions every month. That is the goal. Once you get past that, elevate it further. Then we'll look at all of that data. So let's just say, for argument's sake, since we're on LinkedIn and YouTube, we're looking at data and we say, okay, so I did post 5 days a week and I did different types of content and we have 2,000 impressions. I'm going to look at which post drove the most impressions and most engagement. Now, I can't see yet with LinkedIn which post generated the most clicks to traffic to the site and did they stick and for how long. I can just look at in general through Google Analytics. This is how many people came from LinkedIn, clicked something, came to our website, right? I mean, you could do it with UTM parameters. If you had a link, then you could specify it to a specific post. But for most companies, you're just seeing, I got 50 people, 1,500 people from social, whatever came to my site. This is my bounce rate, etc. So I've got 2,000 impressions. I look at my post, what generated the most impressions, what generated the most engagement. Hey, next month, do more of those. Just do one more of those. Where's my trend go? Hey, we got 3,000 now. Okay, let's keep riding it. Let's do it again. Let's double down on it. Let's triple down on it. Maybe we'll just do all those types of posts. 4 out of the 5 are those, and then 1 that's completely different. But you can't make that decision if you don't have the data. We're reviewing our data with our customers every single month. First, we review it internally to look at it, analyze it, see what's the trend here. What is it doing? What's working? What's not working? Nothing's ever just static. It's not just do this every day and you're fine. Your trend line will go up. It does not work like that. You have to make adjustments based on how the market responds, number one. Number two, the algorithm changes. Google's changing every single month. LinkedIn's changing every single month. They're constantly moving the goalpost, changing the rules of the game. So you have to adjust to it on the fly. That's where in our proven process, we've got do these things every month, review it, make a pivot adjustments. We were doing like this. It was working good. Hey, carousel stopped working. Hey, these PPC campaigns are not driving leads that are converting into SQL, sales qualified leads or opportunities. Make an adjustment. It's like what we do every single month because there is no set it and forget it. You can't do that. You have to make adjustments based on how the market responds and based on how the technology responds to that market responding, and they make adjustments to their algorithm, to their search traffic, etc. You make adjustments based on those two factors. But if you don't have the data that you're collecting, you can't possibly make decisions. So you guys have to be collecting as much data as possible. It's no different than in your own service or product. When you're already collecting data, you've got machines, equipment, running stuff, you're collecting all that information. If you're trying to improve efficiency, you're going to want to know everything. So let's just look at like injection molding process, right? So injection molding, you've got, if you're trying to shave off 2 seconds, 3 seconds of a cycle time, because that means a lot if you're trying to go after speed. You want to look at all the different areas, all the different variables. Can the machine do it? Can the plastic melt that fast? Can it react that quickly? What happens when I speed it up? Can we fill out the part completely? Is there too much cooling after the fact? Is it shrinking up? Because we're injecting so hard, the material's so hot, we're starting to get burning, we're starting to get deformities in products, right? Can I change something in the plastic? Can I change something in the mold? Can I change something in all these variables that are getting me to this specific cycle time? And make those adjustments, but it's based on data. You have to test it, look at the data, and then make adjustments from there. But if you're not collecting it, there's no way that you can possibly make adjustments to it. So collecting it with a system like HubSpot, with a system like even Salesforce, collecting all of the information. You go to a trade show, collect all the information. How many conversations were had? How many leads did we get? How many of those converted into an actual RFQ? And then furthermore, the next step is going to be how many of those closed into a deal. Oh, Kyle, our process takes 6 to 18 months to close. That's fine. We got time. Guess what? The system that you're putting the data in does not get tired. It runs 24/7. So even 12, 16, 18, 24 months down the road, you can say that person came from that trade show. We did all of these things and that person closed. So that deal can be accounted to this trade show if you're in that situation. But you want to track everything. All right, those are my 4 points. We're 38 minutes into this episode. We're going to take a short break. Check out this video that Riley did last week. Last week at MPE, he was filming every single day. We'd go back to the house. There was 5 of us staying in the house. He would edit it so we can post it that day. Check out this video. We'll be right back.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
I'm with Kyle, Mason,
What's up, guys?
Riley. We're at NPE. Are you guys here? If you're not, where are you? If you are, come up and say hi to us. We look forward to seeing you guys. We look forward to learning all about you guys, and maybe you can learn a little bit about us. What do you guys say?
Let's go. That's what I said.
Let's go.
We're pretty much wrapping up day one. We made it to the end of the wall, right, Alex? We made it to the end of the wall. So that took us, what, 6 hours just to walk the West Hall one time. Overall, good show so far.
Big machines in the West Hall.
Yeah,
Big players here.
we're ready to get out of here and go and do some more sales work to finish out the day. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, guys, we're back. Hopefully you got some entertainment out of that video. That's something about the trade show. So we're going to do the same thing when we're at IMTS this year, and even something crazier when we're at FabTech. If you guys aren't going to FabTech, book your tickets. We're going to have a page lined up. You can get in for free with us. But that is going to be a crazy show. 15 of us. We're getting a big house down there. Going to the trade show every day. Crazy giveaways, and raffles that we're going to be doing at the show. Tons of content. It's going to be insane. We're trying to take over FabTech this year. Let's head to the comments. What do you got?
Cool. So we got a question from Mr. Tim Drinkwater.
Tim Drinkwater, it's been a minute, man. How are you doing?
He asks, when posting links, is it okay to use tracking links that forward to the target URL?
Yeah, so I mean, I would just use a link shortener like a bit.ly type thing, or who's the other one? Hootsuite shortens links. The free version of HubSpot shortens links. So yeah, you can create a tracking link with UTM parameters, all that stuff. Put it into a link shortener so that and if you post on LinkedIn, they're automatically going to shorten it. They're not going to have like 168 character link in there. They're going to automatically shorten it. But if you want to really track it, do it through something like HubSpot or do a bit.ly link throw. So just Google search link shortener tracking and pick one of those programs. A lot of them are for free, but LinkedIn automatically does it. But yeah, we want to track everything as much as possible.
And then he also had a comment on PPC campaigns. He says, have to keep a very close eye on PPC campaigns. They tweak the algorithms to maximize their revenue. Keeping it very targeted seems best, but still watch it.
Yeah. So right now we're managing about just over 3 million in annual PPC spend, and they're making adjustments all the time, not only on like the algorithm, but you got to look at that quality score. So if I'm trying to rank for CNC Machine Shop, the page that I'm sending it to has to be optimized for that search phrase. Like if everybody's competing for that phrase, CNC Machine Shop, and I want to have the highest likelihood, I got $100 a day. I got $100 a day to spend. So I'm going to spend $3,000. I'm going to spend $3,000 over a month. So $100 a day if I'm doing it 7 days, which I would not recommend. But you're doing $100 a day, and let's say each one is $10 a click for argument's sake. That gives you 10 clicks a day. But if you go to it and you're not hitting your daily spend, your budget, then that means that Google says, hey, I know that you're willing to spend this money, but we looked at the quality of it and your headline, your description, and most importantly, the page that you're sending people to, they're not really optimized for all of these different search phrases. So this one, CNC Machine Shop, we're going to send them to your homepage because that's what you say on there. You're a CNC Machine Shop. You say it 6 times. You got all these words, your meta title, your description, your H tags on this page are optimized for CNC Machine Shop. But you were also trying to send traffic to that homepage that's like Aerospace CNC Machine Company. Well, you don't really talk about that on that homepage. So we're going to give you a quality score that's lower. Therefore, when those searches come up, we're not going to show you guys because we got 6 other people that they're sending them to an aerospace CNC machine company page specifically for that, different landing page optimized for that. So we go into our customer stuff and we update word copy. We update the copy on the page, the word count, the meta title descriptions to make sure that from a strategy standpoint, we're ranking organically, but we're also doing paid search that's optimized for it. So you break it into multiple groups. So that way these words are relevant to these pages, set the ad creative, et cetera, and you're good to go. So yes, they're changing things all the time. What I've noticed most over the last 4 months was the impact of the quality of the copy on the page that you're sending that traffic to and what that page is optimized for versus the keyword phrase that you're trying to rank and pay for traffic to come from.
And Nathan Hammer says that you always have to change the status quo. If you don't, somebody else will.
That's right, Nathan Hammer. You got it.
Then Mr. Drinkwater's back, says he's busy but doing well. Onboarding a new sales/marketing employee tomorrow. Is our team for sure doing IMTS this year?
All right, man. We will see you there because we have to go because we have some clients that are exhibiting and we're going to be there. There's going to be a handful of us going. So I don't know how many days I'm going to be there, but I'm at least going to be there for probably 2 days. So what about that comment from Nancy? Yeah. That first one.
So if your competitors are doing something before you are doing it, you are behind the curve, not where anyone wants to be.
That's right. Nancy knows best. She's been doing this a long time.
And
all right, guys, that's all the question comments you have. I can already hear our air fryer. We got a dual air fryer here. I can already hear that thing going off. It's going beep beep, that Ninja dual fryer. That means that people are out there starting to eat lunch, which I feel like is a little late for today, right? It's like 12:45. Usually people are doing it at noon, right, Laura? Most people eat lunch at noon. I know that there's some meetings though. So I hear that air fryer. That means that it's getting late. I need to go and try and eat something before my next meeting. Any last comments? All right, Riley says that's it. So guys, if you got value out of this, share it with one person that you know. Let them know about the show, the content that we're producing. Head over to YouTube, subscribe to it. Please turn on notifications so you can get notified every single time that we post content, which is every single day. If you want to listen to this in podcast format, head over to every major podcast platform, type in Industrial Sales and Marketing with me, and I will see you on the next one.